Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to see class 12 biology chapter 4 principles of inheritance and variation. In that we are going to see polygenic inheritance and pleiotropy. So these two concepts it helps us to understand how genes interact to produce a wide variety of traits observed in living organisms. Yes, let's start with the topic. So what is polygenic inheritance? See, polygenic inheritance is the inheritance of traits is controlled by 3 or more genes. How many? 3 or more genes. I'll show you here. So it is controlled by 3 or more genes. Yes. So each gene contributes a small amount to the final phenotype, and together they produce a continuous range of variations rather than a distinct categories. See, in mental trait, it showed only two alternatives such as the tall and the dwarf, right? So polygenic traits, they show gradual differences. It's not like the mentals. It shows gradual differences. For example, we can say like a human height. Yeah, it does not have only tall and short individuals. Instead, people have many different heights, and also it ranges from very short to very tall also. Next, we are going to see the additive effect. So, additive effect in polygenic inheritance, every dominant allele contributes equally to the expression of the trait. So, every dominant allele, it contributes to the expression of the trait. So, this we called as the additive effect. So, the more dominant alleles present, the greater the expression of the trait will be. And what is the role of environment in this? See, environment, it plays a very important feature, right? So, what it does, it influences the traits. So, for example, nutrition affects human height, or exposure to sunlight influences the skin color, or lifestyle. Yes, it can modify the expressions of several polygenic traits. These are some examples. See, both genes and environment together, it determines the final phenotype. Let us see the continuous variation. So continuous variation, see, because many genes are involved, individuals, they show a smooth range of phenotypes. Like it is forming a bell-shaped distribution. Can you able to see? Yeah, bell-shaped distribution. Yes. Where most individuals possess intermediate characters. You can able to see. So most individuals, they possess the intermediate characters. For example, we can say like human height, human skin color, body weight, intelligence. These are some examples. So what you should remember for the exam point of view, that polygenic inheritance, here 2, 3 or more genes, and also additive gene effect, and also the environmental influence and continuous variation. So everything forms the polygenic inheritance. Let's see an example. Here in your book they have given the human skin color. So let's take this human skin color. It is a classic example. So human skin color is the best known example of polygenic inheritance. It's a best known example of polygenic inheritance. So for easy understanding, let us assume this A, B, C, right? So all these dominant alleles, they produce dark pigmentation. And the small A, B, C, can you see? So these are recessive alleles and they produce light pigmentation. These are recessive alleles and they produce light pigmentation. So pigmentation, if you think about the pigmentation, what is giving color to your skin is melanin pigment. So each dominant allele adds a small amount of melanin pigment. That is why this dominant alleles dark color because of addition of melanin pigment. So extreme phenotypes you can able to see here. So a person with a genotype, you can able to see here, see a skin color gradient. A person with a genotype A, B, B, C, C, all are dominant. So they possess 6 dominant alleles here, and therefore they have the darkest skin color. And a person with a genotype, this all this recessive, yes, alleles, they possess lightest skin color. So intermediate shades, and these are the intermediate shades. So these individuals, they have different combinations of dominant and recessive alleles. Like we can say like first one, let's take this one. So it can be AABB and BCC. Okay. Then it can be this A, yeah, and this B, only one B, and here one B, and one capital C, and one small c, yeah. Or it can be AA and this BB, one capital C and one small c. It can be different. So depend upon the number of or how many dominant alleles are there, skin pigmentation also gradually increases. So many shades of skin color are produced instead of dark and light colors. So what is the important concept in this? See, the phenotype, it depends upon the total number of dominant alleles and not on any single gene. Okay, you should remember this. And also the phenotype reflects the contribution of each allele, which means the effect of every allele is additive. Yes. So exam point of view, what we should remember. So more dominant alleles, darker skin color, and few dominant alleles, lighter skin color. Let's see the next one. So next we are going to see pleiotropy. So what is pleiotropy? Pleiotropy is a condition in which one single gene, one single gene controls or influences more than one phenotypic character. Yes, here one single gene is responsible. So it controls more than one phenotypic character. So we can say one mutation in a single gene, it can produce multiple effects in the body. So what happens here? One mutation in the single gene can produce multiple effects in the body. Why does it occur? Yeah. See, a gene usually it produces protein or enzyme that we know already. Sometimes what happens, this protein, it participates in several metabolic pathways. So, for example, if a gene is mutated, all the pathways depending on that protein, it becomes affected. So, multiple characters, it changes simultaneously. So, this phenomenon we called as pleiotropy. Yes, so you can able to see here. So one gene, so phenotypic 1, 2, 3. Yes, so it acts via different metabolic pathways. So let's have one comparison between this polygenic inheritance and pleiotropy. In polygenic inheritance, many genes control one triad. In pleiotropy, one gene controls many triads. In polygenic, it produces continuous variation. In pleiotropy, it produces multiple phenotypic effects. Example for polygenic inheritance is skin color, and for pleiotropy, it is phenylketonuria. Yes. So exam point of view, what you should remember, this polygenic, many genes and one triad, and pleiotropy is one gene and many triads. So let's see example for pleiotropy. Phenylketonuria. So short form is PKU. So what is this phenylketonuria? So phenylketonuria is an inherited metabolic disorder caused by mutation in a single gene. So it is caused by mutation in a single gene. So this gene normally it produces the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. You can able to see here. Yes, phenylalanine hydroxylase. So what this enzyme does? See, the enzyme converts the amino acid phenylalanine into tyrosine. So what it does? It converts the phenylalanine into tyrosine. And this tyrosine, it is required for the synthesis of several important compounds, including our melanin pigment. So what happens in PKU? See, due to the mutation, the enzymes becomes defective or absent. So as a result, this phenylalanine cannot be converted into tyrosine. Yes, it cannot be converted into tyrosine, and phenylalanine accumulates in the blood and tissues, and toxic byproducts are formed there. Yes, let's see what is the multiple effects. Yes, multiple effects are many effects. Since one defective gene affects several body systems, yes, the individual develops multiple symptoms. So it develops multiple symptoms such as mental retardation. You can able to see here, yeah, and also reduced hair pigmentation, reduced skin pigmentation. So a single gene mutation causes several phenotypic effects, making PKU a classic example of pleiotropy. So what you should remember from the NCERT point of view, the disease is caused by mutation in the gene coding for phenylalanine hydroxylase, resulting in mental retardation, reduced hair, and also skin pigmentation. So PKU is nothing but one gene mutation and resulting in defective phenylalanine hydroxylase, leading to several symptoms, and is a very good example of pleiotropy. Yeah, let's have a quick revision. So polygenic inheritance, it is controlled by three or more genes. Yeah, it is controlled by three or more genes. And it shows continuous variation. And alleles have additive effects, and also environment also influences the phenotype. And human skin color is a classical example for polygenic inheritance. And you can able to see here capital AA, BB, CC is a darkest skin, and all these small AA, BB, CC is the lightest skin. And pleiotropy. One gene controls multiple phenotypic characters, and also it occurs. Where it occurs? It occurs because one gene influences different metabolic pathways. Yes, one gene influences different metabolic pathways, and phenylketonuria is the classical example of pleiotropy. And also mutation in the phenylalanine hydroxylase gene leads to multiple symptoms. So we have come to the conclusion part. Watch the full video. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.